What's up and welcome back. Finally, Rockstar has done something right for Red Dead Online. They've added something good. I'm Bandit Barney, bringing you everything you need to know about Red Dead 2 and Red Dead Online. Today, we got more of our drip leak update from Rockstar, okay? So, a couple weeks ago, Rockstar had this big update plan, and then they announced that they were going to be drip leaking some of those features to us throughout the coming weeks. Today, we got Spoils of War. This is a new game mode where, essentially, it's a capture the flag style. It's a age-old classic capture the flag, but in its representation, you each have a pot of loot in your base, and your goal is to go over to the other team's pot of loot, grab a bag, and then bring it back to your pot. So, capture the flag style game mode, and I gotta say, okay, so disclaimer, I'm not the best at the PvP in Red Dead Online. In fact, I'm not very good at it at all. Just not very good at it. I haven't spent a lot of time on the PvP side of the game, mostly the hunting side. So the gameplay we're showing you isn't going to be the greatest, but nonetheless, I want to speak on and for all of us out there that are playing the Showdown series and are into the PvP things. That's where Rockstar's focused a lot of energy, and this Spoils of War is my personal favorite out of everything they've added. It felt really good compared to my experience in the other Showdown modes. I felt pretty confident about what was going on, and if in some of the other Showdown modes, it felt like I was just at a severe experience disadvantage compared to the other people. But this one, I mean, it may be because it was just released, but there had a lot of people playing it. We could also go straight to the mode. It was a highlighted specialized mode. So if you go in right now, you can go straight to and play it. If you get a win, you get a free 8 dynamite arrows. You will also get 20% more XP in Showdown modes this week. But to keep it specifically on Spoils of War, this mode felt really, really good. I felt consistent about the spawns in it. The enemies were consistently spawning on their side of the base, which was nice until I played against players that really outclassed my team. But generally, that's how things work when you play game modes like this. If you have one team that's a lot better than another team, you can kind of get spawn locked. It's something that's going to happen. The maps aren't ginormous. At least the ones I didn't play, I played in Valentine, and the one fort, the fort's escaping my name. The fort's escaping my mind, but it's the one that's northeast or southeast of Tumbleweed. So I played at those two locations. I had a lot of fun playing it. It felt really consistent. Things felt well while you're doing it. You can load in with your weapons and play it yourself. This is, in my opinion, the best mode that Rockstar has added to their game, which is really, really cool because things have been going pretty rough for them lately on a publicity level and, you know, on a community level. A couple days ago, we talked about how we actually have numbers from Super Data about the number of players, or revenue rather, is dipping from January to February. It's probably dipped even more recently because there's a lot of players that haven't been happy about it, but us here, probably a lot of you are still happy about it, and this is really good news because Spoils of War is really, really fun, and it's consistent, and it feels like a game mode that's actually going to attract newer players because it's a classic. It's a capture the flag classic. People know what's going on. They feel comfortable about it. Most games that have a capture the flag work in a similar fashion, so now we have a Red Dead version of that capture the flag. It's really, really fun, and I enjoyed it when I jumped on for the few sessions I played. On top of Spoils of War, we also got an addition to the catalog with some pretty cool things. So we have the Tasman outfit for males. That's a male only outfit. We have the Danube outfit for females, then tied pants. Now these tied pants were really cool. I tried buying a pair before I got disconnected. The hitch skirt for females only. I haven't seen what that looks like because my character is a male. Then we have the winter shotgun coat, the Gardenia hat. That's a really funny one. And then the squat stovepipe top hat. So some new clothes. These things are pretty cool. I'm glad to see that we're getting these clothes in earlier rather than later, and you know, having to wait a while for these clothes to get in. It seems like each week we're gonna get something new. It is a little bit like Rockstar is pushing the microtransactions here, because some of these outfits that are time limited only, you can only buy with gold bars. Okay, so you can only get certain of these items with gold bars, which is a little bit disappointing that you see things in the game that we can only get one way, rather than, you know, being able to work up the money from hunting or the showdown series or the new Spoils of War mode and getting that. So that's a little bit disappointing. It kind of follows with the idea behind these items being limited in the shop, promoting them getting bought more. And I want to say right now that this update added a lot of really good things, and I mean, not a lot in terms of quantity, but this was a really good update. The Spoils of War is a great game mode, and I don't want to take away from that game mode being so great. I have to touch on here though that Rockstar is following suit in pushing those microtransactions and making them upfront with like, you know, just the limited time items to buy, and then having certain items that you can only buy with gold bars. So that's a little bit disappointing, especially since things aren't going super well on a publicity level. I would hope that they'd be a little more lenient, but we are seeing them give out more things for completing these game modes. You're gonna get 8 dynamite arrows for winning one Spoils of War game. That's pretty easy to do. If you play 5, you're probably got on a team that's good enough to carry you, so that's pretty neat. Outside of Spoils of War and the new clothing, this update doesn't bring anything new to the actual game, but one thing that may be key is towards the end of their update, Rockstar has made a specific note that they're working on making their feedback website better. I've seen some of you comment in videos that like the feedback feels useless because Rockstar's not doing anything with it. And it's hard for me to side on, you know, being optimistic about like, hey, Rockstar is totally addressing all the feedback, because it doesn't feel like they have so far. But it probably won't feel like they're addressing the feedback until the game adds something crazy on the PvE side that we've been asking for a while. So outside of that, the feedback has been really used for a lot of the glitches and patches and game fixes that just help make things run smoother. They have been doing that. They're updating it, and as always, they're letting us know that, actually, in their words, as always, your feedback is appreciated and vital to helping us tune the Red Dead Online beta as it grows and progresses. So that's there. You get clothing, we got Spoils of War, and they're updating their feedback page. What else is new? Well, this isn't something that Rockstar's come out and just said outright like, hey, this is going on. But apparently, Red Dead 2 has actually gone on sale at certain retailers for 40 bucks. That's a 33% sale, and this, I think, goes to point at and show that, you know, things aren't going really well. And it's not something that Rockstar's come out and acknowledged to us, but GTA 5 didn't drop below $50 for like 5 years. GTA 5 just started really going on sale at certain places. So GTA 5 didn't retail for under 50 for half a decade, and we're only 5 months into Red Dead 2 and it's gone on sale for 40 bucks. This is, I think, as much as Rockstar could say as far as like, hey, things aren't going well for Red Dead 2 and Red Dead Online. And I don't say that to be pessimistic towards you guys and tell you guys like, hey, you know what, like it's the game's dying. But to keep a reality check of where we're at, I know a lot of you are getting frustrated with me over the last week or so because I've been so pessimistic about the outlook of the game. Right now, just to be frank, the game's not doing well. Rockstar knows that. That's why the game's going on sale, because there's been so much poor publicity around the game. It's got a bad taste in a large portion of the community, and the game going on sale is proof of that. Hopefully, though, that those of us that are staying optimistic about it are right in that the long-term goal for Red Dead Online is to really get to that place. And I think, you know, what we can see here is something I've touched on in the past. What Rockstar did for GTA 5 is almost exactly what they're doing for Red Dead 2. Release a really good game and then put an online mode out that's just not really ready. The difference is that 6 years ago, when Rockstar released the online mode for GTA 5, it was like game breaking. It was a completely new thing for all of us to experience. Now it's not. So Rockstar following that same pathway, there's a lot more demand from the gaming community in any game, not just Rockstar's titles, but in any game, for developers to be on top of things, because the gaming community is just growing and growing and growing, and it's more important now than ever to, you know, deliver for your community. In the past, the community didn't necessarily know what needed to be delivered on because there was no experience of what things could be like. That's not the same now. So when Rockstar is taking the same path they did for GTA 5, when GTA 5 came out, and it wasn't necessarily good publicity, but it wasn't taken as poorly, or it didn't hurt their game as much. And the proof's in the pudding with Rockstar putting Red Dead 2 on sale. Nowadays, you can't get by going either as slowly or not delivering as well. So Rockstar's followed the same path for GTA 5 for Red Dead 2, and it's not working. It's not working. But the good news is that if they follow the same path, there's a really, really bright future for Red Dead 2 and Red Dead Online. And that is because we can look at GTA 5 Online is still flourishing. And in fact, recently it's blown up even more than before with its roleplay. And if we look at Red Dead Online, that could be such a phenomenal area where Red Dead Online could really execute, is on that roleplay style of content. So the bad news is that right now that same path is not working. The good news is that we can see long term, if Rockstar's following that same path, it's going to be a phenomenal experience down the line. Sadly, it'll be a little bit ways out. That's going to do it for our update today. You guys, thank you so much for the recent support. Down below, we have our recycled content t-shirts. Go pick one up if you want to even add that much more love to the channel. Thank you so much, and until next time, we'll catch you later.